Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world, with the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author Matt Adams.
As much as I've hit, a couple of good tee shots down the 18th this week, I was excited to have a little bit of a cushion there, so I didn't have to hit driver again. So, I think, coming to the last hole at Pebble with a 3-shot lead and being able to enjoy it somewhat was really cool. It's been a great week for a lot of different reasons. Hole in one, playing Cyprus for the first time, obviously getting a win. It's been a really cool week, and obviously couldn't wish for a better start for my PGA Tour season. So, I've been on a nice run of form.
The glory that was from the weekend past. Congratulations to all. Hello, everyone. Matt Adams here for the Fairways of Life show, and I hope that it's glory that you're seeking to find for yourself in 2025, because we may have it for you right here. This is the famed The Kingdom. This is the testing facility that has made so much news over the years for TaylorMade and their very, very impressive stable. We're going to be talking about that, as well as their equipment like this. This is the QI35, already causing so much buzz in the golf industry. In just a few moments, we're going to dive deep into this technology, but not just this driver and its brethren, but also talking about all of the offerings in 2025 for TaylorMade that are causing so much interest, and rightfully so. That is not all we're going to do. We're going to take a look at some of the other huge products for the industry in 2025, and again, give you the details of how and why these might be the right clubs for you, and how and why the PGA Tour Superstore is the perfect place for you to pick them up. We want to dive into there too some of the philosophy of the PGA Tour Superstore, what makes them different, and as a result, the #1 golf retailer from coast to coast. All of that is coming up. So let's jump right in and first of all talk about TaylorMade and what they have to offer for 2025. Matt Bovee is the Director of Product Creation here at TaylorMade. I'm holding one of the new QI35 drivers for 2025. Matt, you want to take us through some of the key technology points?
I'd love to. So this whole QI35 lineup is built around the concept of providing more forgiveness to players while maintaining ideal launch conditions. And that's something where they always are kind of opposing forces, because traditionally, as you look to more forgiving product in the past, what happens is your spin rate tends to go up and you sacrifice distance. Well, it's not the case with QI35, and our team has worked tirelessly to unlock some additional potential with spin rates while providing even more forgiveness, so you're really getting the best of both worlds. I'm holding the core model here. Again, we have 4 different driver options inside that, and a special treat when it comes to fitting, which is so important for players to unlock all of the performance. But if we take a look at this core model here, of course, it starts with our carbon face. Now, we've been using a carbon face. This does have twist face in it. Cool. We've been using that for a couple years now, and it is just a better way to make product. And one of the reasons for that is the mass that you save. This is a lighter weight face. We can do fun things with that mass, like distribute it away from the center of gravity to give you a higher MOI. That's a term a lot of golfers hear regularly, right? Moment of inertia. What that really means is it's resistant to twisting when you hit it off center. And the more you resist twisting, the more you're going to put speed into the golf ball, and you're going to see consistent, straighter shots.
Okay, take us through, open up the hood and tell us all about it.
So on the outside, you see all of the work that we put into the form language of this. We focus on 3 main areas: fit, form, and function. Beautiful chromium carbon. It's celebrated everywhere from the crown to the sole, and then we also use a lightweight composite polymer for this ring. All of that allows us to save mass inside this club head and redistribute it out and away from the perimeter, okay? So I'm gonna talk to you about a new term here. Everyone knows CG, right? Center of gravity. What about CG projection? So what that means is how the center of gravity projects at the face of the club, and that's what really dictates how the ball comes off the face. So everyone talks CG because it's a little bit more of a simplification, but if you really want to understand the differences in launch and spin, you have to talk CG projection. What we've been able to do in the QI family is get that CG projection lower on the face. And here's why that's important. Matt, if I was to ask you, for a general player, if you're gonna miss it and you wanna be able to keep that distance up, do you wanna miss it high on the face or low on the face?
I would think probably just above the sweet spot.
Nailed it. If you're gonna miss, you wanna miss high, because what happens is you get lower spin as you're hitting above that center of gravity projection. You also get gear effect vertically, just like you do heel toe. So that gives you a high launch, low spin. If you're not gonna hit it at the middle, you wanna hit it up higher. Now, by getting that CG projection lower on the face, we essentially increase the area of opportunity to be able to get those more ideal, less spinny launch conditions, which translates to more distance. So really simply put, you're now getting more distance from more of the face, and you're doing it in a more stable platform.
Okay, I got to talk to you about these irons, because this is the P790 and it's absolutely gorgeous, flat out.
Yeah, we're very proud of the new P790. It's hard to imagine it's entering its 5th generation. So when it launched first in 2017, it really created the player's distance category. And think about where we were and now how far we've come with this new model. Truly incredible. Obviously, you mentioned from the outside, it looks beautiful in the bag, right? And we work very, very hard on that, whether it's just the general form language or the small details like the milled texture in this pocket that just exudes craftsmanship. But as beautiful as it looks, there's so much happening inside this club. There's a brand new face material this year called 4340M. Now the name's not as important as what it does. It's a 20% stronger material than we've had in the past. So when you give an engineer a stronger material, they can make things faster, they can make things lighter. So we're getting more face speed out of this, you're gonna get more carry distance. But as a club designer, what's most important to me is you're getting a larger sweet spot. So it's designed to give you all those things more consistently. And that's what we want. We want consistent distance out of the P790. Every head has been individually designed for a better feel as well. I got, the internals on this product, it's absolutely stunning. Filled with speed foam air as on top of that. So this has become the gold standard as far as player's distance is concerned. We continue to push ourselves. I think this is the best looking, it's definitely the best feeling, and it's our most technologically advanced P790 today.
You have the strongest stable in the entire game. What does that say about you guys?
I mean, I think it says that we have the best performing products, and it also speaks, I think, to our culture in terms of the best players in the world wanting to work with us. We're passionate about the products we design, just like they're passionate about their golf games, and those two things are a beautiful marriage.
It is indeed, and it's a beautiful product for 2025. You guys can check it all out at the PGA Tour Superstore. Mizuno is unquestionably one of the most beautiful products in the entire game. The director of product is Chris Voschel. And I'm not just talking about their product for 2025, I'm talking about all time with Mizuno. You've got some beauties here before us, my friend. Could you tell us about the JPX?
I'm so excited about it. This is the new JPX 925 Forge model. We've had the hot metal for the came out late last year. This is a chromoly material, but this is a forged version of that chromoly material. So that chromoly allows us to go ultra thin on the face, get a ton of ball speed, but by forging the face and neck on this model, you're able to get that feel that you know and expect from Mizuno.
All right, now that feel that we know and expect from Mizuno, let's talk about some of the components quickly if we can. Look at the sole of this club, this flange. It looks like it's pre-worn on the front edge, it's beveled on the back, it's got enough width so it's going to help you get the ball airborne. But everything about this on the business end is a player's beautiful iron. So what would you say this is going to go, from like a 12 or a 15 handicap down?
You're exactly right. Yeah, because the playability is there is the width so it can launch. You can go up a little bit higher than you'd expect in the player range, but it's very compact to address. It looks great, you get a lot of workability, and ultimately that feel is there. So we see a wide range of players, all the way down to scratch, but even someone in the mid-teens I think could easily play these.
So you're coming into the PGA Tour Superstore and you're looking for that perfect driver for 2025. Yeah, that perfect driver that at address looks so good that it inspires confidence and sounds so good that you translate that into feel. All of these details and more, exactly what we're going to discuss with my friend Jose Mirafuera. Jose, once again, you guys come out with a line of drivers, these for 2025, that are awesome looking.
Thanks for that, pal. Yeah, looks are what get you to the rack, isn't it? But once you put them into the bay, they have to perform. This year we designed 4 different drivers for 4 different types of players. In your hands are the better player drivers, as they should be in your hands. The one in your right hand there, that is the LS driver, made for low spin. If you're somebody who swings really hard, creates a lot of launch, a lot of spin, this is the right driver for you. Notice the movable weights. You can really tune this driver to fit your game. The second driver is the X driver. The X driver is blue for medium ball flight, and this is the X. This is a great combination of both speed and forgiveness. So if you're looking for a little bit more forgiveness than a tour head gives you, this is the right driver to go.
How much are these drivers, as I'm looking at these two designs, also about the aerodynamics? Because these things look like they were designed in a wind tunnel.
Yeah, two of our engineers are aerodynamicists. They work on aero all the time.
Oh my God.
So that LS is the creme de la creme of aerodynamics. It features softened radii around the perimeter of the face. It features a raised aft. It features a raised crown. Everything that you need to reduce drag or create more efficient, faster swings for yourself as a golfer. So if you're somebody who has over 105 miles per hour of club head speed, if you play this driver, you can actually measure gains in club head speed.
Yeah, because usually the drafting is really benefited from, hear him talk about the aft and the crown, because right here and right here is where you're going to see it very pronounced. Absolutely beautiful, my friend. What do you got?
Thanks for noticing that. Yeah, in my hands, if you're looking for a driver that's the most stable driver you can buy, something where it's going to give you consistency downrange, down fairway, that's this Max K driver. That's this beautiful silver looking accent. It is for the first time that Cobra's ever made a 10K driver, which means high resistance on heel to toe mishits and high resistance on up and down the face mishits, which is going to give you a lot of stability even off center hits. This is the Future Fit 33 system. 33 unique settings with a true center, and you can decouple loft and lie settings. Normally, if you add loft, you make a driver fly more left. Well, now we can add loft and just make it fly higher. You can add fade to it without making it fly higher or lower. You can totally decouple your settings, and you can make the driver fly in any direction that suits or your game needs, right? Wow. And that's going to be super great for golfers.
How much of a variance in terms of movement can we expect?
That's a great question.
Here?
So from the most fade to the most draw bias, we have 16.5 yards of adjustability. If you were to take that LS driver that you have and put the weight in the toe, you add another 9 yards of fade to it. So there's 25 yards of fade and draw bias flexibility in there.
Absolutely crazy.
Up and down, it's impressive too. Up and down, we have 4 degrees of controlled launch, 48 feet in height, and up to 870 RPMs of adjustability, so that we can design a driver for every golfer. You show us your mishit, and we'll show you perfection.
Cobra in 2025 wants you to be able to adapt your game to its very, very best standard ever. Yes, it is by using the technology and indeed the beauty that exists in these clubs. I got to look at this again because it is so absolutely gorgeous. You can see all of this and make sure it gets fit just for you at the PGA Tour Superstore.
I got ball fit in 2000, went on a little run. Then Bridgestone fit me again, and I went on another run. I just got fit again for the new Tour BX. The ball fitting's been helping me. Will it help you?
Every January, PGA Tour Superstore pros meet every manufacturer, learn about the latest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together hit over 100,000 balls. All so they can get you the perfect fit.
When you choose Newton shafts, you're choosing more than a product. You're choosing innovation, pride, and excellence right here in America. We pay attention to the minutest of details, and you can feel that in the performance of our shafts.
I think when you're training for other sports, or why most people go to the gym is so that they can have muscles and be strong and be healthy. And a lot of the reason why they struggle to play golf is their body doesn't move properly for them to be able to hit a golf ball. And when you're training for golf, it's a little bit different because you're focused more on flexibility and mobility and being strong in motion. When you're able to kind of have a warm up and have a workout routine and kind of gradually build up to where you're training your body to move properly, yeah, you're going to get a lot of big dividends on the golf course.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
Super easy to hit. Introducing the new PXG Black Ops irons, our first game improvement iron.
It's a larger face heel to toe.
It launches the ball high in the air and really far.
Much higher levels of forgiveness. You set that club down, creates a lot of confidence. It's supported by this X-Core polymer material.
And that's where you get improved ball speed. If you're looking for a distance, forgiveness, and feel, Black Ops iron is going to be for you.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Stride by Zero Friction, the first of its kind personal caddy. Walk in comfort and style with Stride's remote and follow me technology. The Stride handles almost any terrain, and its 54-hole range will last all day. The lightweight design and removable front wheels makes it simple to handle. Plus, it easily fits golf carts. Pick up your Stride today at a local PGA Tour Superstore near you or at zerofriction.com/Stride. Stride, your personal caddy.
Jill Spiegel is the president of the PGA Tour Superstore. And Jill, here we are every year coming together with hundreds of your associates so that people can truly shop with the pros and the best informed pros in the business. How much is this event in this week a cornerstone of everything to come?
It's critical. It's the kickoff of our year. We have close to 300 fitters across the country here this week. We kicked it off last night with our grand opening, awarded a lot of associates for the results in 2024, and this is it. It's a great opportunity for them to meet with all the OEMs, and this year's really special because we're in California. We've always done it in Florida, which is great too, but as you know, Carlsbad is the hub of golf.
Yeah.
And they're going to get to go to the Kingdom, ECPC, TPI with Titleist. So, you know, we had a lot of people last night raise their hand, and this is their first event. So This is going to be eyes wide open for a lot of our fitters. It's a big deal.
So exciting. And then how would you say that that translates into the customer coming in the store now? They're interested, obviously. Say they want to get a new driver, and they're going to try out various ones to ensure that what they get is best for them and their game.
Yeah, and that's what's so important. I mean, our associates are the most important. They're the closest thing we have to the customer, right? And what they're going to leave with this week is all that new knowledge. And what you get fit for and what I get fit for are going to be very different. And we want them to have that information and to know what's best for each customer. You know, the game has changed a lot, as you know, and it's become more diverse. A lot more women are coming into the game, a lot of juniors. So they have to be able to not only fit the avid golfer, but fit maybe a new golfer, you know, someone with a high handicap, and they need to know which equipment is best for which golfer.
You know, that's a good point, Jill, because, and you and I have discussed this before, where I've always felt that, not that the game of golf needs a savior, but if the game of golf is going to continue to grow and continue to be successful, we have to open up the gates and welcome everyone in, and particularly women, and we have to retain them in the game of golf. How does that all, everything that you're doing, how does that all translate into having the doors be open, just like your arms being extended for everybody that is an interest in the game?
Well, it's our top priority for 2025. Is, you know, when you look at golf, the numbers have never been better. 2024 is going to be another record year, not only rounds of golf played, but on-course participation and off-course participation. But as many new people that are coming into the game, there's still a lot of retention issues. You still have people leaving the game. So our top priority is, how do we welcome those new golfers into the game? And how do we make golf, how do we break down the barriers? Golf can be very intimidating. You know, and you walk into the store, and if you're not a low handicap golfer, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So how is the minute that customer comes into our store, how do we recognize who they are, who she is, who he is, who the child might be, and make them feel comfortable and welcome to the game? Because people are going to stay with the game if they're having fun, if they're fit into the proper equipment, if they're getting the proper instruction. Otherwise, they're going to take it up a little bit and then walk away. And we want to be welcoming, and we want to retain those customers.
The state of the golf industry 2024 as we head into now 2025, where would you put it?
Last night was with Chip Brewer, CEO of Callaway, and I'll quote him. Golf has never been in a better place. And it's not just, you know, on-course golf anymore, as we know. We talk about that quite a bit. You know, there's 20 million people hitting into a simulator last year. the numbers keep growing. Obviously, you know, we've got some fun things happening in Jupiter with TGL. You know, we have a team, the Atlanta Drive. I just think what I've seen, and COVID certainly helped, as we all know, helped the families come together and be outdoors, be healthy. And so I think golf's in a great place.
It's amazing, and it's a rare opportunity, I think, too, for companies of your size. PGA Tour Superstore is the #1 golf retailer from coast to coast. To be in touch with someone, with you, at your level and your level of expertise and experience, to be able to look them in the eye and say, this is why we're doing it, and have them buy in.
Yeah, and we have about 300 associates out here, and it's not GMs. It's all folks that are on the floor of our stores, and that's different. A lot of competition, you know, they'll bring general managers out for these kinds of events, but this is all 100% working. It's our first year here in California, but with all the big OEMs, you know, from Callaway to Titleist to TaylorMade, you know, it's convenient for our folks to go and visit their facilities.
Oh, yeah.
And first and foremost, those facilities are amazing.
They truly are.
So it's a great experience for our associates. And so, and then others come here, and we use the wonderful facilities, the driving ranges here, to be able to do this. And for me, though, I told our associates last night, you know, we're still in an aggressive growth mode. I mean, we still have, we're in 27 states, so, you know, what about all the other states? They need some golf shops too. So, but what's important is for this group to not only just become very well educated on equipment, but to become great leaders. Because the only thing that's going to slow us down in our growth and our plans that are on paper is to make sure we have right leadership. And it goes back to that, and this group better be able to fill another 75, 100 stores, being at, you know, 75 stores roughly today.
You now have a new program at the PGA Tour Superstore called Fit and Go. How fit, how go, how fast?
That's exactly right, Matt. So yes, to be fair, it used to be you'd come in, you'd get fit. It could be a week. It could be, for COVID days, it was a couple weeks. But so we have a program now with select vendors, really your key ones, Titleist, TaylorMade, and Callaway. And we're working on getting others in there where you can actually come in, get fit that day, and leave about 20 minutes later with that custom club for you. So we've got a unique matrix of shaft offerings. We have all the different head offerings. So depending on what's right for you, we're going to slowly be rolling out fairway woods, and we're just going to keep evolving on this program and building basically a bespoke for you custom club that you leave with that day.
That is so cool. And that kind of also speaks to the fact that inside of the PGA Tour Superstore, whether you need to get your grips changed or whether you are interested in new shafts, perhaps in a set of clubs that you already have, you guys can pretty much do everything in-house.
That's right. I mean, it's literally, to your point on grips, we could, hey, you didn't like the grip on that shaft, we'll get that done in, 10, 15 minutes as well. So the point is we want you to come in that morning, get your club, and play in your member guest that afternoon.
This experience, I mean, last night at the opening ceremonies, and the question was asked, how many of you are for the first time, and hands go up. There's got to be so much excitement to think that a company of your size would take people out to California, right in the heartland of golf and manufacturing right here. How unique an experience do you think it is?
It's life-changing for some of these folks. And I've been in retail for 35 years, and I have never been with a company that invests so much in our people. These aren't our GMs, they're not our AGMs, these are our sales associates that are out here, and it's just amazing what these folks get to experience.
Now, those sales associates are going to take all this knowledge, all this enthusiasm, all this passion, all the things that they've learned about, and bring it back into the store. So let me turn it around for you a second. You be a customer coming in through the sliding glass doors. How does it change your experience as a customer when you have this well-trained of a floor staff?
Well, I think we have to talk. We also do. We get about 300 people out here, Matt. But we also, to everybody else that doesn't come out here, they get to go through this virtually. So everybody gets all of this content.
Interesting.
So no matter if you're a seasonal associate, a full-timer, or a part-timer, we want the customer not to know. They don't need to know what your status is. They just need to know that you know what you know. Yeah. And so that's really the whole purpose. So it changes the game. No matter who they run into in the store, they should be able to get the information that they need.
We spoke today, speaking to those executives that were kind enough to spend some time with us, about new technologies such as this. We spoke about a variety of price points, which means that whatever you need to be, wherever you need to be right now to get the best that you can get for you and your game, you can do it at a PGA Tour Superstore. And I realize that that's still going to be aspirational as you move on down. We talked about lowering the barriers and the intimidation to come into the store, regardless of what level you are as a player. We talked about retention and making sure that people who do come into our game feel welcomed and stay in the game, particularly underserved markets, particularly juniors. Girls are up to 33% in that category, which is very encouraging for the game, and women overall. When you hear all these things, and there's more, but when you hear all these things and take a look at them, Jill, how much does it give you guys motivation to carry on with the worthy cause because you can see it connecting with people, you know that it's working?
It's absolutely true. I mean, you know, I've been with the company for over 5 years, pre-COVID golf boom. And, you know, at that time, we really kind of served one audience, the core golfer. And today, what's so exciting about golf is all the new audiences, those people who are new to golf. It's really changing how we reach them, changing how we serve them, the products that we offer. I love that you're sharing that we have something for everyone. Our environment welcomes all golfers regardless of your skill set. One thing we all want to do is enjoy the game more, and that might mean different things for different people, but it just shows us how much opportunity there still is. The game is more popular than ever. It's younger, it's cooler, it's all the fun things that we really have wanted it to be. What we always knew about it, I always think, is it's being discovered for the first time by a lot of new people. And we want those people to feel comfortable, and the PGA Tour Superstore is the place for that.
Congrats for all of this stuff.
Thank you, Matt, so much for being here. It's like your family.
I feel like family. PGA Tour Superstore, folks.
Appreciate it.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
The best feeling iron I've ever hit. Introducing the new Gen 7 irons, the greatest leap forward in irons technology, in performance, in PXG history. Our new quantum core material explodes off the face. Are you kidding me? The Gen 7 irons deliver groundbreaking new levels of forgiveness, speed, distance, and feel. That's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that trajectory. Just phenomenal. Gen 7. It doesn't get any better.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm gonna go after PGA Tour.
Playing on the PGA Tour is not easy. But you know what is easy? Getting the 524 series from Tour Edge.
Getting linebackers and home runs used to be easy.
Out here, you're gonna need all the easy you can get. Introducing the 524 series from Tour Edge. The easiest clubs you'll ever hit. Even the best players in the world can use a little easy.
I like the sound of that. Look out, PGA Tour. Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
What would your ultimate golf experience be like? Just you and a friend? Or would you round up some buddies for a foursome? Just one day? Or an entire week? There's a good chance your ultimate golf experience could be Michigan's magnificent 10. 10 incredible courses set among 3 remarkable resorts. See for yourself. Book your ultimate golf experience today.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
Every January, PGA Tour Superstore pros meet every manufacturer, learn about the latest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together hit over 100,000 balls. All so they can get you the perfect fit.
When you choose Newton shafts, you're choosing more than a product. You're choosing innovation, pride, and excellence right here in America. We pay attention to the minutest of details, and you can feel that in the performance of our shafts.
So I bumped into an old friend here at Callaway. Michael Versa is the Director of Custom Fitting and Player Performance. And Michael, the performance that we're talking about for 2025 from Callaway is very much about elite performance. This is the new elite driver that's causing such a buzz. Why is it? What are the elements of this that are different?
Yeah, we're super excited for the full elite lineup, and the driver's always the headline product, right? It starts there. So, we're really driven by technology. We're a research, a development company. Really kind of starts with the face, if you will. We've always been into AI. We're a leader in that, from our supercomputer to our testing that all goes into that. Anybody can just buy a supercomputer, but it's all of the other stuff that goes into it really makes it. There's no magic red easy button that designs golf clubs. But we've redesigned how this face, we call it an AI 10X face. There's literally more than 10 times the points, the control points to really dial in. So from a speed, launch, and really spin consistency standpoint, it's gonna be super fast and much tighter dispersion we've ever had before. From a fitting aspect, everybody's kind of used to that kind of ellipse where long and left and short and right. We've really flattened that. So, your worst drives are going to be much closer to your best drives, both vertically and horizontally than ever before. We're really excited about that. Things like the thermoforged carbon crown.
Yeah, let me turn that so they can see it pretty well.
This is an all new material. What it lets us do is it's lighter, it's stronger. We can reposition mass where we want to use it. That's most optimal, where we can literally fight for every gram. So this is really game changing from a design standpoint, from the ability to really get the MOI, the CG, and all of the other aspects that goes into it, including something like our new APW or perimeter weighting. And this really lets the player dial in. So we have a center position where that's kind of neutral.
Yep.
We can push that all the way out to the toe, all the way out to the heel. There's roughly 18 or 19 yards of left to right dispersion that we can affect right there.
No kidding.
Yeah, so if you're a player who really fights a slice, we're not going to fix it, make it go away forever. We can really reduce that. All of the other technologies really make that dispersion tight. And same thing with a guy or gal who hooks it. We move it out in the toe. We help them get it straightened out.
I'm just going to kind of turn this a little bit for the camera here so people can see the aerodynamics of this head. How much is this design about reducing drag and utilizing those aerodynamics to the max?
Yeah, really great point. So, in addition to the face, we use all of our technologies, our rapid prototyping, our AI, to really look at this difference. So we have no compromises. A lot of people are used to, well, if it's a fast driver, it's probably not super forgiving. Some forgiveness, but if it's a really forgiving driver, it might be a little bit slower. This is a no compromise, and that aerodynamic ties all of that together to make this that driver that is super fast, is super forgiving, and really in ways that have never been done in the industry before. And from a sound, feel, performance perspective, this is really a game changer from us. So, the technology we're bringing in here, we have a new cut sole, a little bit of relief in the leading edge. It's very subtle, but we want to make sure that everything about this iron, from the AI design face to how we're moving mass around the head, really ties in. Again, a couple different models. We want everybody to get fit. So when you talk about irons, we talk about performance, you talk about the full family. The elite irons are going to bring that together, whether it's the elite model, the elite X model, which is a little bit stronger loft package, a little bit more draw bias for that player who needs that. We have it, but not for everybody, right? We don't want to force players into that. We want to get the right launch, the right spin, to be able to do that with all that AI face technology, with all the materials that go into this, in an incredible sound and feel, and what we think is as pretty as iron has ever been out there.
You could see that this iron has already been hit, and that's exactly what's going on behind us here. Is we're here because of the PGA Tour Superstore Training Summit. We're talking about putters, and this is so much fun to talk about. I don't know anybody that doesn't love to get into a conversation about putter and putter technology, because if there's a club in the bag, probably the brethren would be the driver, right? That encompasses more hope. It's the putter. And it's the thought that, with the putter that works for me, that magic wand that picks me instead of me picking it, maybe there's something very special on the greens in store for you. And there's no doubt about that when you look at these beautiful models. Let's get into the technology. Where did you go in 2025? How do you build on the success you guys have already had as a number one?
Yeah, that's right. Odyssey's been number one on tour. When you think of Odyssey, there's really three core pillars. That's innovation, performance, and tour validation. We just finished up the 2024 season, number one putter on tour across all global tours.
Wow.
Matt, crazy enough, we won every putter count across the globe on every major global tour except for one. So just incredible domination by Odyssey. But what we're really proud of is we launched our AI1 platform, which are new variable face thickness inserts last year. You can kind of see there from the window that's on the bottom that highlights that variable face thickness. But for us this past year, the amount of conversions, the best players in the world that converted into AI1 was the highest we've ever seen. So on each tour, 50% of players switched into this. So on a given week, we'll have 50 to 55 putters in play. Majority of those are non-paid users. 50% in the first year switched to the AI1
Unbelievable.
insert.
Just tell us again about this little window, because the jet was going over as you were explaining it.
Yeah, so you know what we used, we leveraged our artificial intelligence to design the insert. So what you're going to see on the mallets, there's a little slot right here where you can see it, and on the blades, it's actually in the back cavity. But what it's showcasing is that the insert has topology. It has variable face thickness. So the intent of that is that if you mishit it on the face, the speed's going to be most consistent. Matt, you know, if you go out and play and you hit a 30-footer and you miss it slightly off the toe or heel, that first thought that's going to pop in your mind is go, 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 right? You can immediately feel that speed loss coming off the face. And whether it's you, whether it's the average day golfers, or whether it's the best players in the world like Xander, Sam Burns, Rose Zhang, they miss hit putts too, especially on long ones. And so we're really excited about the AI1 insert, because when you do miss hit it, what you're going to see is you're going to see more consistent speed across the face, and then allow you to have more speed control. So really big innovation here in the putter space. We're excited about the AI1 inserts. We have them in our core offering, which is the white hot urethane insert, as well as the milled offering. So we're excited that we just launched our new Odyssey square to square. So what you're going to see here, Matt, is this is a new modern sitter shafted putter. So that shaft's going to go right through the center of the CG here. This is going to allow this putter to sit toe up. So when you look at some of the other putters with the hosel configurations, this would have a little bit of toe hang. So you can see opposite of that. What that does is it really allows the putter to be stroke balanced, meaning that the way it's designed from a mass properties and CG location is on the backstroke, if you tend to open it, it's going to have bias in it to want to shut. It's perfectly balanced. If you shut it going back, it's naturally going to want to come back to square. And that's why we call it square to square. So from a design standpoint, this square to square putter is stroke balanced, meaning that it almost has like an auto correct on it. And so for a lot of golfers that maybe have struggled in the past, you know, giving them something that's an opposite feel, right? Toe up versus toe down or face balance is a totally new feeling. So we've had a lot of success with this in the last couple of weeks since we launched it. It's going to come in the popular Jailbird model. We also have some other models, which is the number 7, which is our best, most played model on tour.
All right, so we're in a really special place now. We're inside of Callaway's tour truck, and I'm with another legend here. Anthony Taranto's with me, and Anthony is the the Pro Tour Club Artist, which is a pretty cool title. Why do you have that title, my friend? What are you working on?
So I do all the custom wedges for Callaway, for the PGA players, celebrities, VIPs. And right now, stamping wedges has been pretty popular. And luckily, a lot of our players enjoy it and like having a little fun on their wedges. So that's what I get to do all day.
All right, and you're working on something pretty special over there. How close are you to finishing that?
I'm really close. I'm just gonna put a little paint on it and it'll be ready.
Could you talk to us about the process of what you're doing? It has, from an outsider's perspective, it almost looks a little bit like a blacksmith and an anvil.
Yeah, so I have metal stamps and I have a wedge. The wedge will be plain, nothing on it.
Yep.
I'll put it on my magnetic anvil to hold it from moving when I'm stamping it. And I'll take the stamp and put on the wedge where I want, and I will hit it, stamp out what I want, and then I'll come back and paint it. Use a little towel with some acetone, wipe the paint away. There it is.
Let's see what he, oh, look at that. PGA Tour Superstore. Absolutely perfect. And it is art. What you're doing is amazing, my man. Thank you so much. It. Just one more piece and depth of what Callaway is doing for the golf industry, all of which you can find right here at the PGA Tour Superstore.
I got ball fit in 2000, went on a little run. Then Bridgestone fit me again, and I went on another run. I just got fit again for the new Tour BX. The ball fitting's been helping me. Will it help you?
What would your ultimate golf experience be like? Just you and a friend? Or would you round up some buddies for a foursome? Just one day? Or an entire week? There's a good chance your ultimate golf experience could be Michigan's magnificent 10. 10 incredible courses set among 3 remarkable resorts. See for yourself. Book your ultimate golf experience today.
I think when you're training for other sports, or why most people go to the gym is so that they can have muscles and be strong and be healthy. And a lot of the reason why they struggle to play golf is their body doesn't move properly for them to be able to hit a golf ball. And when you're training for golf, it's a little bit different because you're focused more on flexibility and mobility and being strong in motion. When you're able to kind of have a warm up and have a workout routine and kind of gradually build up to where you're training your body to move properly, yeah, you're going to get a lot of big dividends on the golf course.
Super easy to hit. Introducing the new PXG Black Ops irons, our first game improvement iron.
It's a larger face heel to toe.
It launches the ball high in the air and really far.
Much higher levels of forgiveness. You set that club down, it creates a lot of confidence. It's supported by this X-Core polymer material.
And that's where you get improved ball speed. If you're looking for a distance, forgiveness, and feel, Black Ops iron is going to be for you.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Stride by Zero Friction, the first of its kind personal caddy. Walk in comfort and style with Stride's remote and follow me technology. The Stride handles almost any terrain, and its 54-hole range will last all day. The lightweight design and removable front wheels makes it simple to handle. Plus, it easily fits golf carts. Pick up your Stride today at a local PGA Tour Superstore near you or at zerofriction.com/Stride. Stride, your personal caddy.
Every January, PGA Tour Superstore pros meet every manufacturer, learn about the latest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together hit over 100,000 balls. All so they can get you the perfect fit.
As you guys know, the PGA Tour Superstore is the place for juniors to go to learn about the game and to find equipment and more so that they can have a lifetime association with the game of golf, as so many of us have had as well. Josh Kitchen's here with me from US Kids Golf.
Yes,
Josh, you guys have been now for decades forerunners when it comes to junior golf. And I'm not only talking about equipment, I'm talking about opportunities to play and grow in the game. If you look behind us, these box sets, this thing screams people starting out in the game of golf, and you can get everything that you need in one place. You'll find them throughout the PGA Tour Superstore. What was the philosophy? Where do we go for the origins that has become all of this?
Yeah, so Dan Van Horn, our founder and president, started the business back in 1996. Really came he was trying to get his kids in the game of golf. He had 2 boys that were 5 and 8. He did the typical thing that parents did back in the late 90s. They cut down some clubs and put some new grips on them and stuck them in their kids' hands and said, good luck with this piece of rebar.
Too heavy, too stiff, too everything, yeah.
Exactly, too heavy, too stiff, the whole gamut, like you say there. And he realized real quick that his kids weren't having much fun in the game, so he went about with his background in engineering to find a way to make a product that was lighter, more flexible, easier to hit, that got kids in the game, kept them in the game, had them having fun, and kept them coming back. So that's really the origins of US Kids Golf, and we've come almost 30 years to this day at this point, getting further and further along that ideal and that story.
That evolution, getting further along that ideal and that story, also includes equipment, because whether you play golf or not, but if you're interested in a son or a daughter or grandson or granddaughter or friend in getting involved in the game of golf, you want to make sure they have the proper equipment, as you just heard us alluding to. You can't just give them an adult set that you cut down. All the dynamics are wrong. You're holding some clubs in your hand, and what's crazy good about US Kids Golf is that you have them based upon size and age.
Yeah, so actually we do not filter by age. That is one of our big things here at US Kids Golf. If you take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds, they'll be completely different, varying heights and abilities. So perfect. The way we fit is step one, we're going to determine the player's height. And we use this helpful little tool here that we call a fit stick. Basically, the player will come up, they'll step up next to the fit stick here, and we'll determine what player height they're at. So you can see here that we fit in 3-inch height increments, 36, 39, 42, etc. The reason why we do that is the CDC shows us that kids on average grow between 2 and 3 inches a year. So in theory, your kids should need a new set of US Kids Golf clubs every 2 to 3 years. And then what makes us special here at US Kids Golf is we do make everything specific to that particular player. So again, step one, you're going to fit them their height. Step two, you're going to fit them into their ability. We have clubs from a beginning golfer that have never played the game before to our ultralight set. This is really our bread and butter that you can see here. This is the majority of our sales. This is a beginning golf set for a beginning golfer. And then we can take them even further into our Tour Series line, which is basically adult clubs for junior golfers. So titanium metals, carbon steel wedges, stainless steel putters, etc. And then we actually just launched a new EP Tour line at the PGA show last year that is our EP Tour Light driver and putters that will take you all the way to the elite level.
So I bumped into Travis Milliman here at Ping because we want to talk about the new offerings for 2025, mostly because they generate so much excitement. And a good reason why is what I'm holding in my hand right here. You want to reveal this to the world?
Yeah, so we're going to have our fairway, hybrid, and iron in 2025. In the driver models, we have 3 different models. So we're going to have the Max, the SFT, and the LST, just like we've had in previous revisions.
And this is the Max. Let me just hold it up to the camera here for 1 second, Travis, so they can see it.
Yeah.
I love visual technology. I love when a consumer can come in and go, oh, okay, I can see what you're doing here. But when it comes to Ping, there's always what you can see and the technology that you can't see. Take us down both roads.
Yeah,
if you
so
would.
I mean, obviously what you can see right now, carbon fly wrap. So you can see that peak of carbon on the toe. It's actually the same piece that wraps from the crown into the toe and the heel. One piece.
No kidding.
Trying to bond it as efficiently as possible. So it's actually a 3D topology across the crown. The benefit of that being that we can bond that one piece onto the crown in the least amount of buildup material possible. So we can save a ton of mass, just even securing the head composite to each other. So.
And that mass that you're saving equates to weight being moved elsewhere.
Yeah, so that's the one thing you can see visually, carbon fly wrap.
Yep.
Another thing you can see here is our CG shifter in the back, right? So our high density tungsten weighting back there. The goal of that is to locate that basically as low and as deep as we possibly can. Obviously, it's a big story in the golf industry. We've been talking about MOI for a long time, right? And the best place to put mass for MOI and CG is in that CG shifter, as far back and as far down as possible.
Where we're going to take a look at an iron now, which again is part of a family, but this one is a beauty as well, the G440.
Yeah, so G440 is a great addition to the line. So obviously at address here, or at the back cavity view, it's premium, players inspired. That badging you see there has that nice pop of chrome. It's actually extremely functional as well. The mechanical designers like myself, we sit right next to the industrial designers that make the clubs look the way they do. We asked for, when we're designing badges like this, how do we get that to dampen out but still flex, right?
Yeah.
So badges traditionally have been for an area to add your branding. Year over year, they've gotten bigger and bigger. We found that if you don't add regions for them to flex, they actually will inhibit bending of the face.
Oh, okay.
Right, so this pure flex badge is what we call it. We actually divide that badge up into 4 different regions that can independently flex from each other.
Beautiful.
So when you hit the golf ball, the face still wants to flex, but the viscoelastic damping properties of that badge still help to dampen out what you'll hear and feel.
Always great to run into Josh Tauge, the VP of Golf Club Marketing for Titleist. And so we've got some absolute beauties in front of us that absolutely will be a big story for 2025. Can we jump right in here, Josh, and start talking about the driver?
Well, again, welcome to the Titleist Performance Institute. We've got a lot going on here in the background.
players are trying the new product. They're hitting new drivers.
These are the PGA Tour Superstore associates that are learning about these new drivers.
Exactly, yeah. So we got to bring you guys into the fold here too. What you've got in your hand here is our new GT1. So GT was a driver family that we launched last fall, but we kind of do it a little bit like the automotive industry. Bring it out the fall before the year. We think GT is the best new driver of 2025. This is our lightweight model. We set this up to help players who need a little bit of help getting the ball up in the air, maybe adding a little bit of spin. It's really about how can we get you your most carry. And there's a lot of players out there who need that little extra bit of speed, a little bit of extra carry. This is also a very forgiving driver. It has our deepest CG or center of gravity location to help those players be able to get those off-center hits as well.
All right, let's take it from the macro and open the hood up and really get into them.
Sure.
If you don't mind, I'll ask you piece by piece.
Yeah.
Let's start from the business end of this, looking down at a dress.
Yeah, this is our almost hidden technology. So this is actually, we've got a proprietary matrix polymer underneath here. It's a different material than anyone has used in golf, but we cover it up because we want to give you this beautiful look at a dress that's really going to inspire our confidence. Now, what that PMP crown enables us to do is really get our center of gravity's position where we want, be able to help you get that ball up in the air, add some speed to your game, because everyone wants to find the fairway, but you also want to hit it further down that fairway.
This perimeter edge looks beautiful too.
Well, the shape is really important to us, and so we spend a lot of time with golfers at all levels, whether it's PGA Tour, where we've been #1 driver for the last 6 years in the running, all the way down the amateur ranks, where we dominate at the USGA events. We want their feedback on, you've got to look at something that's beautiful if you're going to put it down in front of you. And I think that's what we got.
All right, let's talk about the beauty of technology that's in this face.
Yeah, so when we look at the face, we use this really neat material. It's called ATI 425. We talked about this a few years ago. That's actually the material they used to build the Mars rover with.
Oh my gosh.
So there's only a handful of places in the world that use this. It's NASA, it's US military, it's Titleist, which is pretty fun.
Very, very cool indeed. All right, now we're going to get to the soul of the club. And the soul of the club tends, as we're talking about the beauty of the crown, while hiding some technology, the soul tends to reveal it.
Well, and for us, what's interesting is we are so focused on aerodynamics. We want to make sure that this club can move through the air really well. There's a lot of things that can trip up that airflow down here and slow you down. So that's why you see almost a simplistic design. We want to make sure that every bit of this club is going to add up to give you a little bit more speed. So there's never just one thing in this club that makes a difference. It's all the little things combined that help you play your best golf.
Lucas Bro is a supervisor, club fitting analyst here for Titleist. And Lucas, I'm going to start with kind of the obvious question. Someone goes into a PGA Tour Superstore. Let's say they're a mid to high handicap, and they have the mentality that I'm not good enough to be fitted.
Sure.
What's your response to that?
There's always something to gain in the fitting, and whether it's a good day to fit is always going to be dependent on the player that you see, but I always say it's a good day to educate. And so if you can take a more education approach, teach them what a fitting is, what are the things that you can do to the golf club to help the golfer, I always think there's value to that.
All right, so let's go down that road, using your words. What a fitting is and what those elements of a fitting are. Take us down that path, if you would.
Yeah, fitting gets a term to it, like you're going to get fit for a suit. You're going to get measured, and they're going to give you a spit out of what size suit you wear. It's a little more complicated than that. It's really about getting you 13 or 14 different golf clubs that help you create better ball flight on the golf course. And so if your ball flight is better on the golf course, in theory, you should be scoring lower, having more fun. And so fitting really comes down to what tools, what technology can I bring you to give you better ball flight on the golf course?
And generally, I know it must vary depending upon depth and how many clubs you're doing it for. Is it including wedges? Does it include putters? And we can get into those details too, if you please. But generally, how much time and effort does it take to get a proper fitting?
Yeah, so here at the Titleist Performance Institute, we do everything from drivers to wedges, and then Scotty Cameron does their putter stuff at their studio in different locations. So from driver to wedges, if we were to do a full bag, it'd be 3 hours long.
Wow,
so we'd spend
great.
about an hour for driver fairway, about an hour for irons and hybrids, and about an hour for wedges. Some people can get it done a little bit faster than that, but we really take the time to make sure that there is no stone left unturned.
This is the Pro V1. Steve's holding the Pro V1X. And Steve, let's dive right into this, because 2025 is a pretty significant year given the history of this golf ball.
Exactly right. It's this golf ball was originally launched in October of 2020 in Las Vegas. And in that week, a record 47 players put the golf ball into play, including the eventual winner, Billy Andrade. And then 3 months later, this golf ball went to retail and immediately became the #1 ball in golf. So 25 years of success in both the retail and on the tour is a pretty amazing accomplishment.
It's a lot to carry in your shoulders, though, when you change golf ball history 25 years ago. Let's move on down the road. Now you've got a new one coming out. Where have we gone from then to now?
We do, and I think the best thing to talk about is our processes. So how we work, to your point, improving on 14 iterations over those 25 years is an extremely difficult thing to do. I mean, this is literally the best-selling piece of golf equipment ever. And for our R&D team to come up with each new generation of the golf ball, something that performs better for both our tour pros and golfers all over, it's an extremely difficult task. So what they do is, with the launch of each new product, this most recent one prior to this being 2023, our product team speaks with all levels of our pyramid of influence. They speak with PGA and LPGA tour players. They speak with PGA and LPGA club professionals and teaching professionals, elite amateurs and dedicated golfers. So all 4 aspects of our pyramid, and they seek feedback and they ask, okay, if we can improve this golf ball somehow, what would you do? And the response we received in this last go-round was, we'd like to see a little bit more speed, and everybody wants more speed, right? And they'd like to see a little bit more spin, but that more spin was with a caveat. They only wanted to see that in the scoring shots. They wanted to see it from 7-iron down through the wedges, shots that you're hitting into and around the green. They didn't want to change it at all in the driver. So it's a pretty difficult task, particularly when you're looking at golf balls that are made of different constructions. So our R&D team took that to task, and what they do is they literally go through hundreds and hundreds of samples. So they test and they tweak, and they test and they tweak, until they're ultimately able to achieve the goal, which with this golf ball, these 2 golf balls, I'm sorry, they did. They achieved exactly what was asked. They achieved more speed, particularly on the longer shots, the drivers, and they achieved more spin on those scoring shots.
That show was a great deal of fun. Thank you to all the manufacturers for letting us see all the new stuff for 2025. Thank you to the PGA Tour Superstore for letting us hang around, and mostly thank you to all of you guys for spending some time with us. Until we are together again, be well and goodbye for now.